am beyond delighted and excited to let you all know that the incredible Mariam Mohammed has joined Super Fierce. Obviously I'm excited because she's vibrant and so much better at dancing than I am, but that's not the real reason. So we are so aligned around values, our passion for building financial confidence and resilience with women, but all in all for creating a fairer world. So why should you all be excited that Mariam has joined Super Fierce?
Because we're about to help all Australians get your super in order. First of all, most of us never think about super because it's so boring. But it's partly made boring on purpose, and that's why there's people like us here to make super fun and engaging and easy and accessible for you. And I think that's hella exciting because what's your money, isn't it? It's the money you're gonna retire with, and it's money for older you who also deserves financial independence.
I'd love you to share with us the incredible work that you did at MoneyGirl as the founder of MoneyGirl, and it'd be awesome to understand what motivated you to go about setting up MoneyGirl.
Financial independence is incredibly important to me because for women, financial barriers are one of the key reasons they're not able to separate themselves from situations of violence. I personally care for that a lot for myself and for my peers. And 3-4 years ago, my co-founder and I banded together to co-found the social enterprise MoneyGirl, which delivers financial education for women. And our goal is very much to be preventative, to upskill women in finances earlier on in their lives. And violence will still exist, but we hope to make leaving just a little bit easier.
Bravo, Mariam. Next week, you are speaking at a conference in Brisbane. Could you give us a little snippet of what's the conference actually about, and what are you going to be standing on stage talking to this incredible community of young people about?
So next week in Brisbane, the Social Enterprise World Forum is coming, and it happens once a year. Every year it's in a different part of the world. This year it's in our part of the world. So it's a wonderful opportunity for the social enterprise sector in the country to come together, for us to showcase to the world all the cool things we're doing in the space, but also for leaders in the sector to come together to think about how we can creatively and sustainably address some of the most complex problems of the world.
So get along to Brisbane, young people, and check this out because it's going to be awesome. Mariam, you've been living in Australia for 10 years. You came here as a teenager, as a young woman of colour from Pakistan. It's pretty extraordinary, the recognition and awards that you've won in that short period of time, really as a diversity and inclusion love warrior. And, you know, it's one of the things that excites me so much about having you as a part of our extended Super Fierce family. But what do you think it is about your journey and the things that you've learned that have made you one of the Australian Financial Review 100 Women of Influence?
I think there's two things that come to mind. One is we tend to diminish new Australians, whether those are migrants, refugees, asylum seekers. We come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. And because we live in this beautiful country, which is a little bit of a bubble, sometimes we have biases that we're not even conscious of. And I truly believe that a lot of the times that is actually the case. People are not conscious of the biases they're holding against the person on the other side of the table. So when new migrants, skilled migrants, come into the country, they're having trouble finding their first job in the relevant sector to them because of all these unconscious biases that they come up against. Meanwhile, we talk about a skills shortage in this country, but there are people in the country who are able to at least partially fill that skills gap. But we don't address our own systemic failures in that regard, whether that is at the company level or the government level. I think that's the second thing that I've learned is only a very small part of all of this is empowering the individual. And I feel the same way about financial independence.
Agreed.
It's one tiny little root cause that goes into a trunk of a big problem, right? And sure, we can hack away at that, but that's not going to fix the problem though, because there's all these other roots to this problem, and a lot of them are systemic. So yes, empower the individual, but it has to come with big systemic change.
Number one, thank you for being a champion for that change. And out there, you can stay tuned for some of the extra tips and tricks that we've got, that not just as individuals, but as businesses and communities, that you can come together to help us to make the new Australians feel welcome. We are all new Australians, really, in some form, other than our First Nations people. So having some empathy for that, but then also how we can then make it easier for pathways for people who don't want to come onto our shore and add to the value of what we have here.